WWE needs to stop what they're doing with Tiffany Stratton because they're dangerously close to wrecking one of the best rising stars in the women's division. And yeah, I know that sounds a bit over the top, maybe even dramatic, but if you stick with me, I think you'll see why this isn't just a rant, it's a real concern. Let's get something straight. Tiffany Stratton is a star, not just a future star. She's already carrying the SmackDown women's division. She won Miss Money in the Bank, she held the NXT Women's Championship, and now she's the reigning WWE Women's Champion. WWE clearly sees her as a long-term centerpiece, someone they can build the next 10 to 15 years of women's wrestling around. She's their Charlotte Flair 2.0. And 2024? That was her breakout year. She didn't just appear on the main roster, she owned it. From her feud with Bayley to her big Money in the Bank cash-in, everything was pointing up. The company positioned her perfectly, flashy, confident, and credible. And then, they started making the same mistake over and over. After her major moment, cashing in Money in the Bank and walking out with the title, she shockingly turned babyface. Fans responded better than expected. Tiffany had always been presented as a natural heel, but somehow, the crowd started riding with her. And instead of capitalizing on that shift with fresh rivalries or new storylines, WWE stuck her in a loop, one that revolves entirely around Nia Jax. Since January, Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax have been linked in match after match, not just a couple times, not just once or twice to wrap up a storyline, 5 matches in total, including 2 title matches and multiple tag team bouts. You'd think after a dominant WrestleMania victory over Charlotte Flair, Tiffany would move forward, but nope, they brought her right back into the same tired feud. Let's break it down. Tiffany cashes in on January 3rd in Phoenix and wins the title. Huge moment. Then on February 14th, she defends the title against Nia Jax. Match ends in a disqualification. That's fine, the first round of a feud. Then at Elimination Chamber, Tiffany teams up with Trish Stratus to beat Nia and Candice LeRae. Still okay? Maybe we're wrapping things up. Then comes the May 2nd tag match, Tiffany and Jade Cargill vs. Naomi and Nia Jax. And finally, the latest chapter, Tiffany retains the title again by beating Nia on May 16th. That's 5 matches in 5 months. Same opponent, same story, nothing new. It's overkill. WWE is walking a dangerous line here, not just for Tiffany, but for Nia Jax too. From Tiffany's perspective, there's no new growth. She's beating the same opponent over and over. The fans are starting to feel it too. You hear it in the reactions. Oh, it's Tiffany versus Nia again? Viewers check out. They skip segments, and the more they tune out, the more it chips away at her momentum. It becomes predictable, and in wrestling, predictable is death. Now, I understand WWE's original logic. When Tiffany cashed in her briefcase on Nia, it set up the perfect betrayal storyline. They had been aligned, so the turn made sense. And of course, Nia deserved a rematch. No argument there, that's just good booking. But that's where it should have ended. Instead of pivoting to something new, something fresh, WWE dragged this feud out and it's become a creative dead end. After Tiffany beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, that should have been a springboard. Beating Charlotte on that stage was a massive accomplishment. Charlotte Flair is a legacy. Few get clean wins over her, especially on the grandest stage. That victory should have elevated Tiffany to new heights. But what did WWE do? They went backward. Instead of launching Tiffany into a rivalry with someone new like a Jade Cargill, Naomi, or even someone from Raw, they pulled her back into the same feud with Nia Jax that fans were already tired of. And it's hurting both women. For Nia Jax, this run was supposed to be her redemption arc. Let's be honest, her first WWE stint wasn't great. She was injury-prone, her matches were clunky, and her character work was weak. But in late 2024, something shifted. She came back stronger, more focused. Her Queen of the Ring win felt earned. Her push felt deserved. And for once, fans were giving her credit. But now, she's stuck playing the punching bag in a never-ending feud where she never wins. She's working with the champion, sure, but she's not gaining anything from it. She's just there to lose. And when you lose over and over to the same person, the impact wears off. You're no longer elevating the other star, you're just going through the motions. At this point, WWE has drained all the value from this feud. The original betrayal story was interesting. The first match or two had meaning, but after that, It's just reruns, rinse and repeat, and that's the problem. If WWE's plan is to keep Tiffany on TV by giving her someone safe to beat, they need to rethink that, because keeping someone active doesn't mean doing the same thing every week. In fact, that can backfire. What's the point of building Nia Jax as a monster heel if she gets flattened every time? What's the point of showcasing Tiffany Stratton if fans are no longer reacting? Every time Tiffany beats Nia, it means less than the last. Every time Nia loses, she gets taken less seriously. That's not building anyone, that's burning both sides. It's basic wrestling logic. When you repeat a match too many times, the stakes disappear, the story loses urgency, you train the audience to stop caring. WWE had something special with Tiffany. She's charismatic, athletic, and has that it factor you can't teach. Her rise in 2024 was organic. Fans connected with her despite her initial heel persona. They respected her grind, her look, her style. It's all money. So why risk all of that by booking her into a stale feud that's dragging her down? And with Nia Jax, the same applies. She made people believe again. She earned a second chance, but now she's stuck as a stepping stone. WWE is wasting the goodwill she worked so hard to build. It doesn't have to be like this. There's a smarter way to protect both women. Use Nia Jax sparingly. Let her feud with someone else. Give Tiffany new challengers, women with different styles, stories, motivations. Elevate the entire division by creating layered rivalries, not just one-on-one loops. Tiffany could be mixing it up with rising stars like Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, or even Piper Niven. She could be clashing with veterans like Natalya or forming alliances that later break. The SmackDown women's division is deep, but WWE isn't using that depth. Instead, they're relying on a formula that has already run dry, and the longer they keep this up, the more damage they're doing to everyone involved. So what now? If WWE wants Tiffany Stratton to be the future of the division, and it seems they do, then they need to start acting like it. Give her rivalries with stakes. Let her cut promos. Let her evolve. Don't trap her in this endless loop with Nia Jax just because it's convenient. And for Nia, give her something to sink her teeth into. She deserves a feud where she can actually win, where she can look dominant, where she can get her heat back. We're not asking WWE to reinvent the wheel, just stop going in circles. Because if they keep dragging this feud out any longer, the fans won't just tune out, they'll turn on both stars. And that would be a shame, because Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax both have more to offer than what they've been given. But right now, WWE is holding them back. And that's a mistake they can't afford to keep making.